Hey guys, Amy here. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having an absolutely beautiful day. Now, in today's video, I'm going to be pulling back the curtain on the 7 transformative lessons that completely changed the game for me in high ticket sales and ultimately changed the game for my bank account as well. So, if you're new to remote sales, or maybe you're not, but you're just ready to stop leaving money on the table, then buckle up because these secrets are about to probably change everything for you. So let's dive in. Lesson number 1 is think like an entrepreneur, not an employee. This was probably one of the biggest mindset shifts that changed everything for me. Most people enter high ticket sales just looking for a job, honestly. They expect leads to be handed to them. They expect someone to manage their calendar. They expect a manager to push them and then for money to just show up in their account just for putting in the hours. But trust me, that's not how this game works. High ticket sales is not a job, it is a business. And you are the business. When I started treating my role like my company, everything elevated. I tracked my own performance, I optimized my own pitch. I was studying bloody psychology at like 10 p.m. at night. I invested into a coach, all because I wanted to get better. I stopped waiting to be told what to do and started looking at the entire system, the leads, the funnel, my close rate, what objections kept coming up, and how could I fix that? And I realized that my income didn't depend on a specific script or a founder or a business. It depended on me. And that is when my results exploded. It helped me to make better decisions about how I was going to show up and even what offers I was going to be spending my time and energy on. This shift literally gave me so much more than money. It gave me ownership. It gave me pride. Like, I no longer blamed the offer or the pipeline when things were slow, and instead started asking myself, what is actually in my control right now? And that energy is what gets you noticed as well. It's what founders respect. And it's what separates average reps from high performers. So the moment you stop seeing yourself as just an employee is honestly the moment that you start building real freedom within the space. Lesson number 2 is build belief before you pitch. Now, probably one of the most expensive mistakes I made early in sales was just pitching too soon. I'd get on a call, I'd build a bit of rapport, hear their surface level pain, and then just dive straight into the offer, thinking that would close them somehow. But what I learned the hard way is that people don't say no because they don't want the result. They say no because they don't believe it yet. They don't believe in their pain. They don't believe that your product will actually solve it. They don't believe that they can even get the result themselves. And they definitely don't believe that you're the person to lead them there. So the moment that I started building belief before I pitched, everything changed. I slowed down. I started asking deeper questions instead of just accepting surface level answers. I made sure that they clearly understood what staying stuck was actually costing them and what was really possible if they committed. I used what I now call the 7 belief system, which covers the full psychological spectrum from pain to desire to trust. And guess what happened? My objections just dropped. Urgency increased, and people actually started selling themselves on the product before I even mentioned price. And that is exactly what you want to happen on a sales call. So if you're pitching before true belief is built, then you are basically just pushing a rock uphill. But when you build the internal foundation first through a strong discovery, emotional clarity, and authentic leadership, the pitch just becomes a formality at that point. It's not about talking someone or trying to persuade someone into anything. It's about helping them arrive at a decision that they already want to make. And they just needed someone to help them believe that it was possible. Lesson number 3 is objection handling is about safety, not scripts. I'll be honest, when I was new to sales, objection handling scared the crap out of me. I'm not a confrontational person. I hate it. And I thought that objection handling was all about kind of arguing, having the right comeback, having the perfect script or the perfect one-liner to overcome the prospect's resistance. But over time, I realized that the best closers don't win because they're better at arguing. They win because they make people feel safe. Because most of the time, objections aren't even logical problems to solve, they're just emotional defense mechanisms. And if someone doesn't feel safe, no amount of persuasive or clever language will actually land for them. They'll say things like, oh, I need to think about it, or oh, I can't afford it, when what they really mean is, I don't feel ready, I'm too nervous, or I just don't trust you yet. So the turning point for me was learning to just slow down and validate the objection instead of trying to bulldoze through it. So if someone said, this feels like a lot, I don't just jump in with a value stack. I pause and I say, that makes total sense. Can I ask what part feels like the biggest stretch for you right now? That one moment of calm completely disarms their fear, because it's not just about what you say, it's obviously about how you say it, your tone, your energy, and essentially your presence. That's what makes people feel like they can actually move forward. So if you want to close more, stop just memorizing rebuttals and start learning emotional intelligence. Your job is never to pressure someone into saying yes. It's to create an environment where their nervous system can essentially relax enough to choose what they already want. And when you approach objections with empathy and curiosity and calm energy, the sale just becomes a byproduct of trust. Now, before we jump into lesson 4, quick pause. If you're serious about mastering high ticket sales and landing remote roles that actually pay well, I would personally like to invite you to come and join my Skool community, Close Like a Girl. We've got live coaching sessions twice per week, every single week. We have a full course that shows you everything that you need to absolutely crush it in high ticket sales, from mindset hacks to elite level sales training to finding and landing high value sales roles, plus direct support from me and other closers who honestly, they just get it. And right now, I'm also offering a 7-day free trial, so you can come in totally risk-free just to make sure it's definitely for you before you commit. So the link is in the description. Check it out, and I can't wait to see you inside. Lesson number 4 is personal branding creates inbound opportunities. Now, one of the biggest things that most closers overlook is building a personal brand. At first, I didn't even think I needed one. I figured if I was good at sales, then the right people would just find me. But the truth is, opportunities don't usually go to the best salespeople. They go to the one with the best network. Once I started crafting my personal brand and showing up consistently online, I stopped having to chase offers, and business owners actually started coming to me personally. Your personal brand is basically like your online resume. It shows how you think, how you communicate, and whether someone would trust you on their team. And trust me, you definitely don't need to be an influencer. You don't need to post cringy, dancey TikToks. And you definitely don't need thousands of followers or super polished content. I mean, my best engagement on my post comes from raw, imperfect posts. Just me sharing what I was learning or reflecting on after a sales call or an interview. And it's not about going viral. It's just about showing up like a pro in the spaces where your ideal offer owners hang out. So if you want to go from being just another closer to being the one that they actually DM first when a spot opens up on their team, build your brand now, not later. Because when founders see you showing up with clarity, consistency, confidence, and value, they assume that you show up the exact same way on calls. And that assumption is going to turn into interviews for you, referrals, and then revenue without you ever having to cold pitch for it. Lesson number 5 is unattached from the outcome, but stay committed to the process. Now, one of the most freeing and profitable lessons that I learned in high ticket sales was how to unattach from the outcome. In the beginning, I put so much pressure on myself to close every single call. I would obsess over the yeses. It was extreme highs to extreme no's when they said no. And I just felt like my worth was tied to whether or not someone bought. But that energy is horrible. It's super heavy, and prospects can feel it as well. When you need the sale, you just create pressure. But when you lead with service, you create safety. I honestly started making more money when I stopped trying to control the outcome and instead just committed to showing up with leadership and presence no matter what happened at the end of the call. And that just helped me relax. Like, I was asking better questions, actually properly listening to people, and focusing on helping them make the right decision for them, not just the one that got me paid. And ironically, that detachment made me way more magnetic because it's not about closing everyone. It's about knowing that you're good either way. So if you're gripping too tightly to the result, take a breath. Your job is not to force a yes. Your job is to guide someone to clarity and just trust that the right person will move forward. And when you shift your focus from, oh, I hope they say yes, to I'm here to serve, that's when the real closing starts happening. Lesson number 6, keep networking even when you're in a great offer. One of the easiest traps to fall into in high ticket sales is thinking that you're set once you land a great offer. I've seen closers get into a solid role, stop showing up online, stop building relationships, and then just get completely blindsided when the offer slows down or the founder pivots or the leads dry up. I've been there myself, and what saved me wasn't luck. It was the network that I'd been building behind the scenes the whole time. So even when I was fully booked, when I was earning consistently, my calendar was stacked, I always made sure to keep engaging with founders. I commented on their posts, I messaged other closers just to connect, carried on building those relationships, posted content, not because I was looking for a new role, but because I was building relationships. And that's why when I did want to pivot or I did want to level up, I already had people in my inbox because I stayed visible, I stayed valuable, and I didn't just disappear the moment I felt secure. Because in high ticket sales, your network is your pipeline, whether you need it now or not. So keep nurturing it, keep planting the seeds, because roles will always come and go, but your reputation and your relationships, they compound. And they're often the difference between scrambling and stressing, trying to find your next offer, and actually being handpicked for the one that everybody else wants. Lesson number 7, don't wait to feel ready. Act before you're confident. Now, honestly, guys, if I had waited until I felt ready, I'd still be stuck watching YouTube tutorials at 2 a.m. and doubting myself. One of the most powerful lessons I've learned in sales, and honestly just in life, is that confidence doesn't come before action, it comes from it. Every major shift in my life happened because I took the leap before I felt ready. Whether it was going for a role that scared me a little bit, or booking a one-way flight without a plan, or even starting this YouTube video. I never felt 100% ready, but I did it anyway. And here's the thing, high performers feel fear too, but they don't wait for that fear to just disappear. They act with it. Every single time I stepped into something that made me feel uncomfortable, it proved to myself that I could handle it more than I thought I could. And that is what builds real confidence. Not another sales book, not more preparation. So if you're holding back because you just don't feel ready, then please, please, please take this as your sign to just do it anyway. Because clarity comes from action and growth comes from action. And the sooner you stop waiting for confidence and start acting in alignment with the version of you want to become, the faster she shows up. So if you take anything from this video, let it be this. High ticket sales isn't just about knowing what to say or what to do. It's about who you actually become in the process. These lessons didn't just help me to make more money. They helped me to step into a version of myself that 5 years ago I didn't even know existed. One with more confidence, more clarity, and more freedom. And honestly, every single one of these shifts is available to you. Not in the future. They're available to you right now, the moment you decide to start showing up. So remember, guys, right now I am offering a 7-day free trial to my private Skool community, so you can get hands-on support to make sure that you just absolutely kill it in the world of high ticket sales. Because trust me, you do not have to do this alone. The link is in the description. I would love to see you there. But if this video spoke to you, make sure that you hit the like button and subscribe. I post 2 new videos every single week. And remember, your next level doesn't start when you feel ready. It starts when you decide to move forward. So I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you in the next one.